Hey guys, what is up? DJ Alma here, bringing you another Black Ops 2 commentary. In this commentary, I'm going to be going over what I hope they will bring to the next Call of Duty. Now, I'm a fan of Call of Duty overall. Actually, before I get into all this, I'll just talk about the gameplay briefly. So this gameplay is actually really old gameplay, and it's from my original account, because I haven't really been playing Call of Duty on my YouTube account at all, so I just had to rummage through old gameplay that I recorded, and this was basically the only one I had. But it's pretty good gameplay. I mean, I'm using the Executioner as a primary, so I get a lot of kills, but I also get a lot of deaths. I mean, it's the Executioner. It's not very good. But now that's out of the way, let's get into what I want to talk about. So, what I want to see in the next Call of Duty. Call of Duty Ghost. Great name for a game. First off, I'll say, why call it Call of Duty Ghost? Are they just trying to annoy the community? I mean, the Call of Duty community hate Ghost. They don't like it. Ever since Black Ops 1, everyone hates Ghost, and they're naming the next Call of Duty Ghost. Like, seriously? But that's not it's not a big point. So, but what I want to see, I would like it to go back to simpler times now. Black Ops 2 did try to innovate a little bit, not much, but a little bit. So, the Pick 10 system, it was a good idea. I can't fault them for the idea. It was actually a really good idea. One of the better ideas Call of Duty has had over the past few years. But just the way the Call of Duty community works, it just doesn't work too well. I mean, there are so many options, yet you see the same classes all the time. And I would just rather them go back to the simple pick 3 perks and all that stuff, because the problem is there's so many different options, but that comes with a lot more overpowered options. I mean, people can stack the more powerful perks on each other, and I'd just rather the developers go back to the standard pick 3 perks, and they have to choose what would be the best balancing for the game. Now, they'll probably screw it up, but hopefully in the next game they'll get the perk balance right and just where they're situated. But it was a good idea with the Pick 10. I would rather it go back to the original way, and I think they'll do that. Also, the perk system. Now, for some reason I guess because in Black Ops 1 everyone was getting up Black Ops 1 for the absurd difficulty of getting some pro perks, and they decided to do away with pro perks altogether. So basically you just have pro perks from the start. And in theory, again, I thought, yeah, that's pretty good, because it means you don't have to play this game hours on end to get up to the level of some other people, and you can have some decent class setups. But again, I would rather them go back to the standard way. I just don't think I enjoyed the fact of having to work for something in the game. There's really nothing else to work up for. Yeah, there's camos to work for, but it was nice to actually work for the camos trying to complete some challenges. So I'd rather them go back to that system. And also, I don't know how the maps are going to be in the next Call of Duty, but I hope they don't follow Black Ops 2 path, because I really can't stand the maps in this game. I hope they go back to more simple times. Apparently these maps are for competitive players, because we heard before this game came out, or just when the game came out, that the maps were helped designed by some competitive player. And yeah, that's great and all, but getting the minority to help create the maps, how about getting the majority to help create the maps? Just my opinion. And if that's true, then it definitely reflects. I mean, the maps with all the head glitch spots, with all the just so many different routes you can take. It does seem to suggest it was helped by competitive players, and I'd rather them go back to the standard flank left, flank right, or go straight up the middle. I don't like nooks and crannies all over the map, head glitch spots everywhere. I mean, it's just unnecessary. It's an unnecessary annoyance that Call of Duty doesn't need more annoyances. I mean, when the maps annoy you, the game's going to annoy you. That's my opinion. Well, I mean, also on Call of Duty, guys, I'd love to see... It's not going to happen, but I would love to see dedicated servers. Now, it's not going to happen. There's no reason for them to do that. There's no reason for them to spend that money when people are still supporting the game. I mean, if the game just bombed in the next Call of Duty, they might have to implement something like dedicated servers in the future. But at the moment, there's no need for them to change something that apparently is working for them. Everyone keeps buying it. So it's just a hope that they would do it, but it's near impossible that they would do that. Also, what else? What else would we like to see? Of course, we'd like to see a beta now. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, again, like Call of Duty will have this terrible excuse for not having a beta, that it costs too much money. I mean, you see all the time these independent companies, independent developers, with hardly any people working on the game, with the minimal funding, and they'll have alphas, they'll have betas for their game. And it boggles my mind to think that Call of Duty can keep using these excuses that it costs too much money. I mean, the amount of money they make on this game every year, that's not an excuse that it costs too much money. It's just not, it doesn't fly anymore. It shouldn't fly, because independent companies, small developers, they bring out alphas, they bring out betas, and those alphas and betas run for a long time, and they're making changes all the time. They're updating the game before it even comes out. And I mean, that's something that I would love to see in the game, and it should be in the game. I know they don't have the longest time to work on the game, but I still feel that they have enough time to implement some sort of beta, and you know what, I don't even care if they just make it so it's a select few people that get to test it. I don't even care if it's select few. I just want some sort of beta, some sort of platform where people can voice their opinions on what annoys them. And I know it definitely isn't going to eradicate all the annoyances in the game. There's still going to be things people miss. There's going to be guns that people didn't really try out and they'll be overpowered or whatever, but just some major things could be fixed with a beta, but that's just my opinion. Also, the last point I'll bring up, and this is another thing to do with maps, right? So, the last thing I would love to see, and also it's not going to happen, but I'd love to see it, is create a map system, a map editor. So, like in a lot of the Call of Duties, Black Ops 1, I loved basically all the maps, but Modern Warfare 3 and this game, a heap of people complained about the maps. One way to fix that is for the developers to be like, well, here you go, here's a map editor, so how about you guys make your own maps, and then you can't complain about it. And I would love to see that. Like, they could have like this public thing where you create your own map, and the best ones can get implemented into the actual game. Like, that would be one of the coolest features that they would ever bring out in the Call of Duty, in my opinion. It would definitely be a great innovation. I don't see them doing it, but I think it would be awesome. But other than that, this gameplay's wrapping up, and that was just a few thoughts on what they should do with the next Call of Duty. Leave in the comments what you think they should do, but other than that, I'll see you guys next time, and peace.